Hey, welcome to the Paige Family Homestead. I'm Peggy.
I'm not.
This is Andy. We have Andy with us.
Yep.
Would like to welcome you to Andy's Eastern Ontario Hospital Tour.
World Tour of Ontario.
3 hospitals, 3 cities in a week and a half, and admitted to each of them. It's been crazy.
And a Covex test for each of them. My nose has never been so abused.
The nurse's hand out of his nose, the one.
Well, they gave me one. I said, what, you got me, you know, I'm having this one here, and now you want me to take 2 more? I said, it's not going to happen. I said, how many times can I get Covex? You know?
Don't say it so much. We're going to get flagged.
Yeah.
So he had his partial stroke. They call it partial because you can't tell.
Yeah.
It's gone.
It's a blood clot, and they put the thinners there, and that's how they get rid of it. Otherwise, they use surgery to get it out.
And they kept you 2 nights for that?
They kept me 2 nights for that, yes.
So
until it disappeared. Once they seen it was gone, they, you know, they know the pills will take care of it.
Is that the one they were going to send you home by bus?
No.
No, that's the one Wally brought you back, and then I picked you up at a meeting point. That's the only time I didn't go, that one day. And then after that, he was told he had chemo on a Thursday, and he was told, no, he needs to go because the man did not sleep for 2 weeks. I'm not even exaggerating.
It was freezing. The room that they put me in was
no, I'm talking before there.
Oh, I know, yeah.
You didn't.
I couldn't
every
sleep.
20 minutes, day and night, without fail, he had to go to the bathroom. So I called
nonstop.
I called the oncologist and said sounds like he's giving birth in there. You need to give him something for pain. That's when I was told we're supposed to be in direct contact with our general practitioner, and he says I don't want him on pain pills anyway. So we got a phone call that he has to go back to Kingston and have his stint removed.
Removed, yes.
So we did that, and we came home that same day.
Yep.
And then that night, he was getting a lot of color in his face. And I thought, oh, you're looking good. And then it was too much color. Took his temperature and flagged him with a small fever. So I took his temperature every 20 minutes. And sure as heck, it went up to 38.
Yeah.
So I drove him. I chose to drive him myself, opposed to calling 911 because 38 is considered high for a chemo patient. It means go right away. It's close to a 45-minute drive, is it?
Right.
To Napanee.
Yeah.
And just like I predicted, the fever, when we get there, is going to be gone. Just like when you have a young child and they're croupy, you put them in the car for a cool drive, and it helps it go away. So they know that. I told them we've been on the road with the back windows open because he was hot, cold.
Oh, burning up. Yeah, I felt I was burning up anyway.
Yeah. So the fever was gone when we got there. They kept him 20 minutes. It was back up. They made a comment about something about oncology and the long weekend, another screw up, or I don't. There's a story there, but I don't want to get into it because I feel like if I go to patient advocate for what I'm thinking, then I could lose my rights to going into with you.
That's right, yeah.
You know, like he needs wheelchair assist now when we go into the clinic or the hospital to get from the door or from the car to the department we're going to.
It's not that I'm lazy. Well, I'm lazy.
You need assist. It's too far for you to walk. So.
And now I've got pneumonia.
So we got the fever took care of. They put him on stronger antibiotic. They kept you overnight. In Napanee, they take such good care of you.
Yeah, they do.
Like every 20 minutes, they were exchanging the heated, quote, sheet blanket.
Yeah.
But they were attentive and they were comforting.
This was my best heated blanket. Believe it or not, it saved me. This thing did.
And I brought him a blanket to 2 separate hospitals.
This is warm.
It works.
It works. It's
because they don't provide you with adequate heat when you're chemo and when you go into emerge. They just don't.
Everything's, you're always so cold.
So they sent you from Napanee to Kingston by ambulance.
Yep.
And what did they do there for you? I'm so mixed up.
When they took the shunt out, they put the stint.
Oh no, they did. We got a fever after that. Then they sent you by ambulance, and that's when they put in the nephrostomy tube.
Yeah, nephrostomy.
I know I'm saying it wrong, but I'll fix that. We have a video coming. The nurse graciously in the hospital allowed me to video the actual changing of the dressing on his back.
Yeah.
And thank goodness, because if I ever, we have home care twice a week, and our nurse Leanne will take care of it. But if it was needing to be flushed or if it got bogged or anything, I needed to know, I need a visual to know how to take care of it. And now I have it, and I'm going to share that with you probably tomorrow or the day after. It's really quite interesting. So they gave him, and I'm saying it wrong, nephrostomy tube. It's a tube coming out of your kidney.
Out of my back.
And
out of my kidney.
Into a bag that I'll be making special underwear for, with a pocket on the side to hold the bag so it's not visible.
So you're not pulling on that.
And not pulling because, oh gosh, I'd be nervous about it. So.
And it's hard, it's uncomfortable to lay on because it's coming out your back, right? You're always laying on your side or your back or whatever when you sleep.
We don't, I get him home from Kingston. They sent him home. And I didn't think they should have. They were the ones that, there was that visit, they were going to send you home by bus. And I'm like, no. So I whipped out their Highway 2, and he drove back.
So get out of there.
He shouldn't have, but the nurses said he could. So we got home quick, but it turned out he shouldn't have drove because he wasn't here 4 hours, and I had to call 911. His lips went blue. I have Raynaud's, so my fingers, when they get cold, will go gray and white, and his fingers were purple, gray, and white, like he had Raynaud's, but the blue, and he's like, so I got his oxygen reader and I checked his oxygen, and I think it was down to 84 at that point. So I called I was gonna whip him into Napanee again because he hates Belleville, and I phoned our home nurse after, and she said, no, make sure it's 911 and get him in right away. You don't play with respiratory. So 911 was called, and the ambulance was here in 12 minutes. If you knew where we lived, you'd be like, wow. But it seems like we have an ambulance dispatch just around the corner and up Highway 7. So they got to him quickly. At one point, it went down to 74. They told me they were I asked, Napanee or Belleville, and they said, your choice. I said, which is closer? They said, Belleville, so go. Just go to Belleville. Sorry, Andy. Yeah. And worst thing we could have done. I had to lie. I had Michelle on the phone. I drove down, and I had Michelle on the phone as I was walking through the parking lot. Michelle from Real Life and Michelle and Rob. And I said, just be quiet. We're going through security, and just don't talk. And I told them I had a prosthetic leg so that I wouldn't have to walk all the way around the building, a block and a half on uneven ground, right? So I could get to emerge. And once there's a sign, because of, the C word, not allowed any visitors in emergency, no matter what. So Andy has had 5 previous strokes, 2 years, 3 years back.
Quite a few, 2014, 15.
But he has memory issues because of that. And a lot of times, unknowing to him, he's not really being honest with the doctor about what's what, because he doesn't recall. So I mentioned that to them, but I kind of played it up that he was a little bit of a benip. And they let me in. And I'm so glad, because there was a 3-hour stretch where not one nurse in emerge. Where are you supposed to look? I think it's right there. Where you're not, you didn't have a nurse.
Are you talking to me?
No, I don't know. My brain is pooched. 3 hours, not a nurse went in. He was unable to stand without assistance. He was unable to use his urinal because of that without assistance. It was so cold. He had a private room in Emerge with 4 walls and a bathroom, but he's hooked up to all kinds of machinery. He couldn't get to the bathroom. He was on oxygen.
Yeah.
So we lifted the tank, carried it into the bathroom so he could go, and then aided him with walking. He wasn't able to use the bed because he couldn't breathe.
Nurse Cratchit wouldn't come and get me out.
I asked for a cold cloth that I could, because he was fevered a little bit too at that point, and I was yelled at to get back in the room. I wasn't allowed in the halls. I used the call bell and told him he needs to keep his fluids. He wasn't hooked up to IV at that point.
That's right, yeah.
And he wasn't being given any fluids. I said, he's a chemo patient. He's just not here because of whatever. We need to consider the chemo aspect and keep him comfortable. No. They gave you ice cubes.
Yeah.
So he had the day after, I had to go home. They kicked me out after about 3-4 hours.
Yeah.
Left in a chair like you would sit at in a school cafeteria. That's what he slept in. They assured me, the doctor when he came in told me, yeah, we'll get him a nice geriatric chair. And no, they didn't.
No, they promised me the moon.
So
and delivered nothing.
The next morning I wake up, there's all these messages from Andy. I don't feel good. I'm not being looked after. They're not coming in to take care of me. I'm freezing. And my heart just went out to him because he's already been to 2 other hospitals, and I was frantic. So I go back the next morning and they won't let me in. I had a little bit of a problem with one of the screeners who was calling security on me to get me kicked out. So I had to run away from her. I didn't know I could run, but I did. A nurse held the elevator door and said, you're safe, I'm in here. So it was a scene. I shouldn't say too much about it, but because there's kind of some language involved. And I had permission from the head security to stay where I was, but this battle axe.
You were in the right, they were in the wrong.
Yeah, but
you had permission.
I did, and she wasn't going to hear of it. She was, feeling like she needed to push her authority. And my nurse told me, next time, just tell them you either let me in or you're going to be booking me for a 72-hour evaluation. But that's the only hospital that is like that.
Yeah.
Napanee Emerge, I'm allowed to sit with them. I'm helpful. I make it so the nurses don't need to worry about them so much. And Kingston Emerge only allows me in for like 5 minutes at a time.
Yep.
But Belleville, never. So Napanee's the place to go unless it's time, right?
Yep.
So right now he has pneumonia. And there was one night there I thought he wasn't coming home.
I couldn't lay down to sleep.
He has a UTI that, because of the stint, thank goodness they removed it. Oh, Scratch, I feel so good. Thank you. It wicked the infection that 2 weeks that he couldn't go. He had to go pee every 20 minutes. Nobody looked after it.
Fast, more than that. Every 5 seconds.
It wicked into his kidney, so they were quite concerned with the fever that he was going septic and sepsis. I don't know what it's called.
Septic.
And that he was going to abscess. So they were pumping him with all kinds of antibiotics. I know people who didn't come home from that. And the way he was talking, or lack of, the way, the pallor, the skin color, his inability to stand, his inability to do anything other than groan. It was bad. And then they put him in a room the next morning at 2. I was there from 8 in the morning till 2 p.m. and they would not let me in. I was in the hospital, but they wouldn't allow me in to see him. I had to keep hiding and playing Mission Impossible. Went to the car eventually.
Until they got me my own room.
Yes. Then I was able to go up.
Yeah.
And the man I saw when I went up there, it was like roller coaster haven. I mean, this man was, I was this close to calling my kids. If you know me well, you know I don't take that lightly, because I was told when he was on life support one night in ICU for his lungs that I should call the kids. And I'm like, no, he's not done. Just give him a chance to fight back. And I refused. This time I was close to calling because he wasn't doing well. And then the bounce back was just incredible. Incredible.
Dee.
Do I
Wow.
still think he should have been sent home when he was sent home? No. I honestly think he shouldn't have been home till today rather than yesterday. He's on 3 antibiotics, new antibiotics.
Yeah.
And we go Monday for his CT in Kingston to give him his radiology tattoo.
Yeah.
And then on Tuesday, you go for a CT scan, which is his diagnostic. That's the one we're all waiting for, people. That's the one that's going to let us know what's going on with that tumor. How is it reacting to the treatments? He was so... I went up to radiology when they had him in that evil emergency, and I told them I'm canceling his chemo for today, like for tomorrow, because that was Wednesday. I said he's not doing it. He's just not doing it. He's forbidding it to be done, and I agree. He's not there right now. And the oncologist explained that he said there's so many different kinds of chemo depending on the cancer. It depends. He said, I've never had a patient on Andy's chemo finish it from the beginning to the end without a vacation. He says, and he's got enough chemo in him right now that he can have a vacation. So
I need a vacation.
He didn't get it on Thursday past, and by looking at the appointments, we have a meeting with... We got your diagnostic. No, we've got your tattoo CT in Kingston. And then in Belleville, we have your CT diagnostic. And the next day, we go see Dr. Kincason for a tell-all. And we'll do an update at that point. But he still has... He's gone through 6 sessions. No, he's gone through 3 sessions. And he needs to have 3 more. So that means 6 chemo and now 6 more chemo and then 30 radiation. But I don't know that they're going to complete all the chemo.
I can't see it because I tell you, wow, it's hard on a person, man.
So what the nurse, the doctor, wasn't she a cute little thing in Belleville?
The doctor was nice. Yeah, she was very nice. Very young.
Yeah, she
Must
had
been a Doogie Howser.
She had said the way chemo works, if there's something that can go wrong, count on it going wrong. So now I know to be very watchful of his blood pressure, high and low, because she said if he has a low blood pressure and a high heart count, that's indication of an upcoming fever. So I'm learning medical stuff. I know to watch for fever. I know now to watch for his blood pressure. I check his oxygen because he is COPD. So with chemo, those are the things that are going to react. And we can't let them win. So we have to be diligent and find them early and book out there early. But it's been absolutely insane. We both came home yesterday feeling like we stood in front of a Mack truck and took a licking. My bones are sore. I'm that tired. And if I'm feeling like that, what does this man feel like? Right?
Pincushion.
Oh, his arms are black and blue. They were trying to get blood from a stone, they said. So before they
dehydrated, your veins shrink.
Yeah.
So it was hard for them to get it.
He's had, and all that too, I forgot to mention, there was also visits to hospital for blood transfusions. 2 units, 2 times, 2 separate times. And then come home, they wouldn't let him come home without 1 unit. So to keep him topped up, right? And that's where everything stands right now, guys. I told you he's working ahead of the prayers. I wasn't kidding. I thought I'd lost him that one night. I don't know if Clint called me. He's in PEI right now, him and his bride, and I don't know if I called them or they called me, but oh, did I verbal diarrhea that man. I tell you, I just let loose on him. I was angry. I was so angry at the way he's being treated, the lack of treatment. I did report that person for causing extra drama and stress. I've had my adventures. He's had his... both in different parts of the hospital at the same time.
Yeah.
But you're back.
Right now. Yeah.
You're back.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're gonna, it looks like he's got 2 weeks off chemo instead of just 1.
Good.
Yeah.
I can't take it. It's just too much. It's hard on you. It's very, very hard.
You're not done the fight, though. So
I know that, but I'm just
you'll
saying.
get your strength back. I think he might have eaten in 2 weeks.
Hospital food.
Maybe
not the best.
Maybe the equivalent of 2 meals in 2 weeks,
Yeah.
all stretched out. Since he's been home, he's eating good again. He's eating smart.
Yeah.
He's not eating junk, and just got to build his strength back up, right?
Yeah.
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 So thank you, everybody, for the letters.
Thank you for your prayers. Keep up the prayers.
Please
They're working.
keep the prayers, please. I'm getting letters, emails, lots of emails, lots of messages from everybody. It's too quiet at the Paige family house. So I'm sorry we were behind in our updates, but I didn't know what I'm sitting on from what's between my ears. I didn't. I really didn't. Michelle and Rob, my cousin Kathy,
Roland.
Clint. I said Roland, didn't I?
No.
Michelle and Rob, Roland, coming down and cleaning up in the yard and mowing the property and the gardens, picking all the stuff off the trellis and pulling the. Well, is it a cornfield that we had? It was 5 rows, about 20 feet long, is it?
Yeah, about that.
Yeah. So it was. He pulled the cornfield.
And we thank you guys for doing all that. It was
Thank
awesome.
you so much. And my brother-in-law,
Really
Wally, and sister-in-law, Lori.
Yeah.
I can't drive at night. They waited
They were very helpful
drove
too,
me
yeah.
home with the truck so that I could go back the next day. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
All of our team, thank you. Wow. Please keep the prayers. Tony Walsh Farms, you have no idea how much we both look forward to hearing Andy's name in your prayer group. It's comforting to know that there's people out there cheering him on, praying for him. So
It really is.
it's going to be busy coming up this week with appointments, but nothing that's going to put him
It's
down.
just like nothing stops. I just want a break from it all. I just want to.
Well, this week is good, honey. It's just our son's driving us up to Kingston on Monday, so we can just relax and just enjoy the ride. That's such a big help.
Yeah.
You have no idea. So we just have that quick CT. We're back home with our son.
Yeah.
And then the next day, it's the CT we're waiting for. So that's going to be fun, right?
Yeah, that'll be a good one.
Yeah, that's a good one. And then our visit with the doctor, and you're done for the week.
Yeah, that'll be nice.
Yeah.
That'll be nice.
Yeah, it is hard. It's very hard on him. But you can see we're okay. He's doing okay. Yeah. Thank God. God realized that the world still needs an Andy and didn't take him that night.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have yelled at more than a biker.
Jeez, Peg. Jeez, Louise.
With that, we're gone. I want him to sit back down.
I'm getting tired.
Yeah. And when he's in remission, guys, I'm burning this coat. I never want to see it again.
I'm this up.
No.
Good coat.
Love you all.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you for your best wishes, your good
Wonderful.
intentions, your prayers, please. Thank you.
Oh.